So a round table was hosted today with Ian Hizakostas, Hikagogi, and Steve Nooser, hosted by Taliesin and Evatel on Twitter. So today we're going to go over everything that was covered in that interview and kind of give my thoughts and takes on the different stuff. Up on Wowhead is kind of the transcript of everything. If you want to go check out what they said and read through that, then that's going to be up there. We're gonna go through everything kind of in its own different like little sections. We're gonna start first with kind of like the big major philosophical stuff. So the big thing, and this is kind of one of the big ones they've been covering a lot, they've been touching on this a lot, is their whole idea of no borrowed power, right? So for a long time in WoW, people were given stuff at the start of an expansion, we grew it over that course of the expansion, and then at the end of the expansion, we lost it. Like Legion artifact weapons, Legion legendaries, essences and Azerite armor in BFA. In Shadowlands, we have all the Covenant stuff and our own legendaries. And they're kind of philosophically shifting away from that, right? So they're going more now towards the talent system, which will enable people to kind of have a more sense of growth, expansion to expansion. And they're covering this and talking about how this is a big philosophical shift, about how that they don't want this feeling of people losing stuff that they've gained over time. Also, they're talking about how everything is going to be alt-friendly from the beginning, and how you don't have to re-earn things on those alts. It's a bit of an issue for a lot of people. Me, myself, I have an alt of every class at level 60, and there's definitely been some stuff that I wish was account-wide that isn't. But them shifting this kind of everything fully account-wide from the start, like they give an example how if your dragon riding has learned extra talents or traits, they don't want you to re-earn those on an alt. I think that's a really good paradigm shift, a really good shift of philosophy that will lead to kind of hopefully a better experience for other people and a better experience for just alts and playing the game in general. Next big thing they covered is the reputation, in my opinion. So this kind of ties into the first topic I just covered there. So what they're doing essentially is renown, right? So reputation as itself hasn't really changed since 2004. And they liked how the renown system worked in Shadowlands, how you can kind of see this bar that gives you rewards, and kind of gives you a clear sense of progression, a clear sense of unlocks. And this is kind of how they're shifting reputations in. They're saying there's a few different reputations that are now behind this new renown style thing, and under different like renown levels, you unlock different stuff. And they're saying that cosmetic rewards will be account-wide, and zones and quests are account-wide, but gear upgrades won't be from this. And there's also possibly story unlocks. So I think this is really good. I think reputation is very old and boring. It's been around forever. I actually think renown's a really good way of doing it, kind of as a battle pass system. So I think that's a really good change moving forward to kind of WoW to kind of help out stuff. And I'm really liking how they're kind of shifting towards this. We don't really know what's going to be there for these renown reputations. I imagine what's going to happen is that they're going to take these reputation rewards we already have, so stuff that you can get normally from reputation vendors, and instead of getting like 12 items at Exalted or whatever, they're going to take those 12 items and split them up over kind of a progression along the bar, which I think is a much, much better thing to do. They also cover stuff about story, not a lot though. They're going to have an epic ending. I'm going to cover some stuff that I have, a little bit of thoughts that I have on that in a different video. They're also going to roll in Shadowlands into Chromie time from 1 to 60 with BFA will say the new player expansion. That's what we thought. There's possibly cross-realm guilds. Endgame is going to be the same, very similar to how it was in Zereth Mortis, which I also think is a very good thing. Zereth Mortis is one of my more favorite endgame zones. It's fairly big. There's favorite of stuff to do, and there's like progression systems. They're saying there's going to be more to it than just Cypher System 2.0. Which is good. The other big thing I talked about is the Mythic Plus rotation, and talking about it again, as well as there being no mission table, and there being account-wide flying, so real mount flying like I'm doing here. My little red drake, also coming in despite dragon riding being a thing. But for the Mythic Plus rotation, Shadowlands and BFA dungeons aren't going to be in it. So for those that don't know, the first season of Dragonflight M Plus is going to be 4 Dragonflight dungeons and 4 old expansion dungeons, and then season 2 will be the other 4 Dragonflight dungeons and 4 other old expansion dungeons. And I mentioned in the past how Shadowlands was too recent to include, but they've grown that up to be BFA as well now. They keep mentioning MOP, so I think we're going to have a lot of MOP dungeons. One downside is that trinkets from old dungeons are terrible. They're really bad. They're just stat sticks. So hopefully that gets addressed and we get some cool trinkets. But they're doing this kind of for variety, and I really like this because my friends and I were feeling kind of burnt out doing dungeons. We've been doing the same dungeons since December 2020, 2021 at this point. Was it 2021? I think it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020. Jeez. Yeah, almost 2 years. So things are getting kind of stale. So I like that they're going to switch this up and kind of rotate things around. And they're also not opposed to tweaking dungeons to make them current. So overall, I think just kind of things that have been covered with all the new stuff we're getting. Everything that they're talking about, philosophy shifts, everything talking about with the new drag fair stuff, new starting zone, reputations going to renowns, just kind of a more focus on account friendly stuff, alt friendliness account wide, revamping professions. I think Dragonflight's looking up to be like a great expansion. And lastly, the last thing they covered is that the expansion is actually fairly far along, and they said the alpha is coming very soon, which is a good sign. I think we're going to get this either late 2022 or early 2023. I think probably it might be like a January, February, but I could see it being November and December. But either way, I'm very excited. And as we know more about this new expansion, I will keep you guys up to date as always. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe if you like this. I have a cool other, like, kind of some lore videos coming out soon about some characters we might see in Dragonflight. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.